Hello, welcome back to the channel, and hope all of you are doing great today. And now, on today's episode, we are going to analyze the Nasdaq 100 index. Okay, generally, we consider the Nasdaq 100 index (NDX) as the stock market index, which consists of the 100 largest non-financial companies listed on Nasdaq stock exchange. Okay, now it is just a benchmark for the high cap, then high growth and innovative stock, especially from technology means tech stock like Microsoft, Apple, then consumer sector like Amazon. Okay, and it was founded on January 31, 1985, and Nasdaq Inc. was the main operator for this index, and it has the modified market capitalization with weightage index. Okay, normally here are around 100 company. Okay, and just like the broader index or the Nasdaq companies which index all the Nasdaq listed stock over 3,000, but the Nasdaq 100 only consists on the 100 largest and the most actively traded non-financial company. Okay. Now, how does this Nasdaq 100 index work? Let's discuss about that. Each company influence on the market is based on market cap. Okay, so based on company's market cap, there will be the influence. Okay, but with the modifying weighting methodology to prevent the extremely large company dominating the index. But there is also the methodology where the company used to have very high market cap, they used to dominate on the market. So there is the idea to prevent that also. Okay. Then companies are reviewed for quarterly for balancing. Also, this index was reconstructed annually and usually from December to mm, December, and to reflect the largest and the most liquid Nasdaq non-financial company. Also, now how the company can join on the Nasdaq 100 index? They have to meet a certain requirement. Okay, now minimum requirements such as listed on Nasdaq and on or the global stock market, and minimum trading history and liquidity standard. There will be the certain liquidity and non-financial and investment company also, like financial company they aren't listed there, and the index was around tech company was around weightage about 55 to 60%, then consumer 18 to 20%, healthcare 6.7%. Okay, major holding like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, Alphabet, Tesla, and other. Okay, now we'll analyze this. Okay, mm, let's try to see this. Now the current index value is around 25,522 US dollar, and when you see here this all-time high chart frame, it has been on the massive rise. Okay, so it has provided very high amount of return for this investor also. Let's try to draw from support, and I think it don't have quite much more support because tech companies in USA has the global dominance, so they can maximize their return as compared to other sector companies. So there will be the less chance of bearing loss in this index. Okay, as I have already said that the point from where the stock will be started falling is called resistance, and the point from where stock will start moving is called support. Now let's try to see this return from 2005. We'll just try to see this on tabular format, and up to 19 years there was a positive return, and just around 3 years there was or negative return on this index. See how much return it is providing. Nasdaq 120, 24, 53. Here was just only minus 32, 26, 47, 37, 31. 5% is okay. Now it is providing the very high amount of the return for its investor. As I have already said, that the index has quite good capacity to provide the much more return up to here around 101 percentage. It has provided the return. Okay, from 1998. Okay, 82%, 101. This 3 year was negative. This was on the phase of dot-com bubble. Then this was on the phase of global financial crisis, and this one, I think this one is around that COVID time also. Let's try to see this and how this index when we cannot trade and make it short sell, or don't try to be a short seller, or don't try to trade on short term. Always trade on the index for a long term, so that you can maximize much of your return, and you can get a return of what you have ever wanted. Okay. So in on the top, this will be its position, but let's try to see this on the monthly candle. I We cannot see it properly, or what. Then 6 month candle also, year to date. Now we are able to see the monthly candle. And then time frame, here also you can see here, it is not falling as we have thought. So always be a positional trader. Or if you want to trade 4, 5, or 6 months, then there will be much more return. And if you just trade it above, then there will be quite higher return also. Always be this kind of a trader, so on you can maximize your return. And if you have any confusion, then try to ask on our comment section. Okay, I'll try to reach out as possible, and we are trying to do live in this way, so that we will be regular, and on another segment we will upload various kind of a video, informative video. And if, it doesn't matter if you like or subscribe to our channel, as we have already on our website. So for maintaining the consistency, and for just teach you about how to trade, we are making this video. And the Yeah, and if you have any feedback, then comment, and we will try to mm, reach out as possible. And we are just discussing about the indicator. Now, when you try to reach out some basic trading indicator, just try to catch up the RSI. And when you try to catch up the RSI, you can see how much return it is providing. And just an RSI used to indicate the buying and selling zone in which stock has been overbought or oversold. Now, when you consider this, this is on the phase of 30, where on 30 it is considered as the oversold zone. Okay, so stock has been sold massively, but over 70 it is considered as the overbought zone. So there will the maximum chance of falling on this stock. Either it will move on 80 or anything, and it will be fall. Okay, so consider this line here. I think it was on 86 or 19. Okay. Now it is on overbought zone. So this index never come around below 30. Okay, see here. S&P 500 used to come many times below 30, but this index never came below 30. Okay, always consider this point. So maximizing your return is very crucial, and this index can maximize your return. So if you want much more feedback, and if you want much more session, then try and visit on our website. We have integrated the live chatbot feature also, so you can get and have the information what you have ever wanted. Okay. So always try to think for a long term. And if you just think for a long term, you can maximize your return. And when you see on more technical indicator from the 1 month time frame, now RSI is on 74, which is considered as the overbought zone. Stochastic is on 92, commodity 1 to 6. Okay, MACD level also And we'll see about MACD. Then support resistance is also here. Okay, so just try to see this. Resistance was around 41,000. Second resistance 32, and resistance first is around 28,000, and pivot is around 22,000. So support first 19,000, second 13,000, and third 3,000. Okay, now for second was around 13,000. Okay, uh, second support was around this zone. Okay, here here will be support. Okay, 13,000 support. Mm, and yeah, from the here will be strong support also. So try to be it here, and always try to buy on support zone. Okay, then and now 9 second support was around 19. Then support third Fibonacci also 32, 28, 26. Now we will discuss about Fibonacci also. Then 18,000, 16,000, 13. Carmelia, we don't need much more about this. Just try to be a long, try to hold the stock for 2 or 5 years. Then you can maximize the return from the most of the hedge fund also. It will provide quite good and high return. And anyway, we need try to see this from RSI perspective. Then we will see on MACD also moving average convergence and divergence. MACD, okay, moving average convergence and divergence. Okay, now this is our histogram. Okay, and MACD line, will be our histogram, and this will indicate the market volatility condition. Okay, now here an MACD line is below its line or above zero, so it is on the momentum phase, and didn't fall up to here. It didn't fall massively below zero. Just one time 210, this was around for global financial crisis, and I think this time was around that COVID or something. Now the so it is massively on uptrend. Okay, so I have already said we cannot trade a short term on index. Okay, so index is replicate and it reflect the whole economy of the country. So it is average sum of all the combined company. So always try to think that, and if you want maximize your return, then trade for a long term, not just for a short term. Okay, now we will see based on Bollinger Band also. Now, I think all of you have information about Bollinger Band, MACD indicator. And when you consider the Bollinger Band, there are the three type of band: upper band, middle band, and lower band. Upper band indicate the if the stock price or chart touch its upper band, then it is considered as the overbought zone. And if the stock price goes touch the lower band, then it is considered as the oversold zone. Okay, so now from all the indicator, it is showing us about this in Nasdaq is on overbought zone. Okay, so it is an overbought zone. So we don't have to buy on stock, but on index it is not necessary. Even after some line of correction, it will move upward on. It will move an upward trend. Okay, let's draw on some line here. Well, I'll try to draw one some line here, ABCD pattern. Okay, so I think this pattern will looks like this, and then it will make another eye up to like this line up to 1 or 2 year. Okay, so this pattern will be here. Okay, now it will fall around 22,000, then it will move on upward direction. So if the major index, then major companies like SpaceX, that merger with X, then OpenAI, Anthropic will be listed, then they will again try to gain the massive rise in their index. Okay, so always consider this, and this always try to be a long term. Don't try to be a short term. We cannot beat the market, and we don't have much more resources to beat the market. So always try to think for a long term. If we just think for a long term, we can maximize our return. We can get the thing what we have wanted. Okay. So if you have any feedback, then try on comment section, comment, and we'll reach you out as possible. Okay. Have a